A daughter honors the life and teachings of her father, who is none other than the martial arts legend Bruce Lee. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week, Be Water My Friend. It's by Shannon Lee. Now, I didn't know about Bruce Lee before I read this book. I mean, of course I knew that he's this legend, martial arts legend, and I've heard of him and I've seen him in the movies, but I didn't know much about his life. And but I came across this quote by him, "Be water, my friend," and that really caught my eye, and that's the reason I picked this book up. But I'm glad I did, because now I know of this cultural icon and the wonderful philosophies that he lived by. So let's get into the book. Now, this book is written by Shannon Lee. She is the daughter of Bruce Lee. And in this book, she has spoken about, so this is not a book about martial arts. It's a philosophical one. She has basically touched upon the life philosophies that Bruce Lee lived by and he, imbibed in his life. So she takes us beyond the kicks and the punches. Of course, there is some mention of it, but she takes us beyond that on a philosophical journey to show us, who Bruce Lee was as a person, and what are some of the philosophical ideologies that he believed in, which made him the cultural icon that we all know of. So the book is basically divided into few chapters or few lessons that Shannon has, kind of derived from her father's life. But obviously it starts with a little background about Bruce Lee, how he started his martial arts journey. So he was just 13 when he started training under Yip Man. And in fact, he died also at a very young age. He died when he was 32 or 33 years old. And so in the background, the author shares how Bruce Lee, when he started training under Yip Man, suddenly he became, the star kid. Of course, he was gifted and he trained really hard. But there was still something that Bruce Lee lacked in. And Yip Man, kept stressing that how Bruce Lee needs to become more gentle and more fluid in his way. Of course, he was great with his physical strength and martial arts skill, but he also had temper issues, and gentleness was absolutely an alien term to him. And Bruce Lee often got very frustrated with Yip Man, thinking that why don't I get this teaching that my master is trying to impart to me? What is this gentleness? What is this fluidity? And he was so frustrated by it that one day he just went away and he was on the water. And he kept thinking, how do I understand what my master or my teacher is really trying to tell me? And he started punching the water. He started punching it really hard. And that's when it hit him. And, instead of just sharing what really hit him, I'm going to share his exact words, what really went in his mind. And how did he come up with this famous quote that, everyone knows, "Be water, my friend." So this is what he thinks. "Had not this water just now illustrated to me the principle of Gung Fu? I struck it, but it did not suffer hurt. Again, I struck it with all my might, yet it was not wounded. I then tried to grasp a handful of it, but this proved impossible." You can't really catch water in your hand. "This water, the softest substance in the world, which could be contained in the smallest jar, only seemed weak. In reality, it could penetrate the hardest substances in the world. That was it. I wanted to be like the nature of the water." Suddenly after that, he watches a bird fly in the sky, and the bird cast its reflection on the water. That's when another thought hit him. Should not the thoughts and emotions I have when in front of an opponent pass like the reflection of the bird flying over the water? This is exactly what Professor Yip meant by being one in whom feeling was not sticky or blocked. Therefore, in order to control myself, I must first accept myself by going with and not against my nature. So this is what Bruce Lee thought. In short, so the book obviously begins with the introduction of his famous quote, "Be water, my friend," where the author is basically telling us with this experience that Bruce Lee had, that how we must all be, try and imbibe the quality of water. Just like how water is fluid, we must all try to be fluid in nature, that is, be flexible. The world is changing, constantly changing. And if we do not adapt to this change, we are not flexible, we cannot really survive. Similarly, you put a water in any environment or any mold, it kind of adapts to it. And that is what the author has stressed here, how we must also be like that. We must change and adapt, yet be true to our nature. You put water in any environment, in any mold, but yet it is water at the end of the day. It stays true to its nature, and that is what the author is saying. As now we progress in the book, the author has shared many anecdotes and imparted a whole lot of lessons and wisdom, I would say. She has shared her childhood stories. She has also shared the experience of losing her father, her brother, and many anecdotes from Bruce Lee's life, thereby imparting many lessons to us. But there are some standout lessons for me in this book. In fact, the author says in the starting that maybe not everything in this book is going to be for you, but keep the things that you really need, and I think that's what I have done. There are some standout lessons that I thought I might talk to you. There's one absolute favorite lesson from the book, which I also spoke about in my one of the shorts video. There's this chapter about empty cup. How the author talks about, she compares the empty cup to the empty mind. That how whenever we approach a situation, we talk to someone, we must not, cloud our thoughts and opinions beforehand. In short, when you approach a conversation, approach it without any preconceived notions or conclusions. The author is saying it's important, especially in the world that we are living in, to constantly empty our mind. You can't walk into a room and have a conversation with someone and think that you're the smartest in the room. Even if you are, it's important that you open your mind to newer possibilities and have a conversation without any judgment. And I think that is something beautiful that really stayed with me. In continuous to that, she shares about this term that Bruce Lee came up with, which is called the choiceless awareness. It's called choiceless awareness, where, Bruce Lee talks about how you must be aware of your environment without any judgment. So when you walk into a room, walk into a conversation, be aware of it, be aware what's happening around, but don't approach it with any judgment. That was, I think, very beautiful again. Then there is this another chapter on, of course, being a lifelong learner. And, I'm sure you have heard in many self-help books which talks about how it's important to keep upgrading, keep upskilling yourself, keep learning new things. And in fact, Shannon has shared this in the book, that how Bruce Lee, even if he was like this great legend that we know of, but he kept learning new skills, he kept working hard, and that is what is important. Now, besides these wisdoms that the author has shared, she's also shared some of the action points, I would say, or practical tools that Bruce Lee himself imbibed in his life. Again, some standout for me was the first tool, which was take aim, where Bruce Lee mentions how that you need to come up with these big goals and big dreams and energize them, believe in them and energize them. And then it's about taking action. So he says that do not sit on your dreams, work on them, take action. Like action begets action. So once you take action, it leads to a whole cycle of action. So it's important you act on your big dreams. The next is about affirmation. Very interesting story that the author has shared, that how Bruce Lee used to carry these affirmation cards. He used to write about the emotional state he wants to be at, and he used to carry these cards and he used to just remove them while he's traveling or while he's waiting, and he used to read those affirmations aloud to himself, which I think is great. Then next is about journal, how we must write down what we are feeling. and create this personal vision for ourselves, which is important. And lastly, one of the action point which was amazing was get physical, where Bruce Lee is trying to tell us that commune with your body, talk with your body, get uncomfortable and grow beyond that. And I think I related to it a lot as well, because I'm currently have started doing strength training. I used to hate that before, and now I'm trying to stick to it and being disciplined in it, and I'm just amazed how much I can push my body. I had this mental blocks earlier. I can't pick heavy weights, I can't do squats, lunges, push-ups, etc. I'm still struggling. I'm not saying I'm perfect and there, but I'm just amazed on certain days when I finish my workout and I feel amazing. And that's what the author is saying. Get uncomfortable and you will grow beyond that. And I think, so that was very beautiful and stayed with me as well. So this is the major crux of the book, some of the most important lessons that I took away from this book. Towards the end, I think the author talks about, although Bruce Lee died at this 32, 33 years of age, but, we must not, and there are some certain theories around it, it's a mystery how he died, etc., etc. But we must not concentrate on that. We must concentrate on the life that he lived. Although it was a short one, it was a lengthy one. He saw big dreams. He achieved those big dreams. And he was a friend to everyone. He touched many lives. So that is what she concludes the book with. I think for me, this book felt like taking a walk with a wise friend and kind of self-reflecting on the way. So I feel like if you're someone who's feeling stuck in your life, or who's feeling that they're not adding value, or not just feeling good about themselves, I think you should pick this book up. Also, if you are someone who is currently looking for a break from fiction, I think this was a good self-help book. It was easy. It had some interesting anecdotes, and I'm glad I came across this and I know a lot more about the famous cultural icon Bruce Lee. So that's all on this book. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please let me know in the comments. And if you've read the book, let me know what really stayed back with you as well. I'm going to see you guys next week with another title. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.